Um, right, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the James Whale Radio Show.
James Whale, the voice of reason on the James Whale Radio Show.
Now, I know that sounded just a little bit curt today on the program, but I have to say I'm in a really bad mood, a really absolutely stinking, flipping bad mood. I have just spent 4 hours with TV people because my television went on the blink. And I can live without the television, that's not a problem, but I need to have the news channels and various other things that I have for work. Oh dear, Robbie, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't know why you couldn't come and fix it for me, to be honest.
I don't like heights.
No, I don't think these blokes did either. And you know, the fact is, you don't know whether they're telling you porkies or not. Well, I've had a new aerial put on the roof. Admittedly, the other one was rusting. And then they found that it wasn't working, and then they thought it might be something to do with this. Oh, I'm just fed up with it. They've gone away now, smugly saying how much it would cost me in the first place. And I'm thinking, all right, okay, well, you have to pay. And, you know, I'll argue about the money when they've done the job. But they've been here half a day, and they've just gone home now and said, we're very sorry. Look, sir, we'll come back tomorrow. We need to get some other bits and pieces, and I might have put the aerial a bit too low. So, oh dear.
Are you paying them by the hour?
No, I'm not going to pay them at all at this rate.
Fair enough.
So, you know. Anyway, listen, don't let my problems get in the way of today's show. This is the James Whale Radio Show, online, on the internet, on radio stations, in fact, on anything you like. People listening on their phones, listening in their cars, on the way to work, listening in bed at night, wherever you are. Just go and tell your friends to join us here anytime you want, really. I mean, and if you're a new listener, Rob is the producer. This is Rob.
Hello.
He's a prat. And if you are a new listener, there are over 50 hours of just me talking rubbish, basically. Sometimes we have a guest. We've had some interesting guests on the program. Actually, I should draw your attention to John Nickel, who I had on the program. I can't remember now which number program it is, but it's there on our website, isn't it?
It is, yes.
In fact, I interviewed John for the BBC the other day, and his take on what it's like to be shot down in a tornado. In fact, we'll talk about the war in a bit. So, you know, if you are a new listener and you were just joining us for the first time, you found us by mistake or somebody told you, nice to have you with us, go and check out some of the other programs. And Robbo will tell you exactly how you can do it.
You can go to the jameswhaleradio.co.uk website. That's the best place.
Yeah. In fact, we want to drive a few more people to the website, don't we? Because people are listening, of course, all sorts of places. We had a massive amount of hits. Was it hits and listens last month?
With our Scottish programme.
Yeah, the programme on the Scottish referendum did remarkably well for some reason, didn't it?
I have no idea why.
No, I don't either. But anyway, nice to have you with us. Okay, the new. Now, shall I do something in Welsh and something in Gaelic?
Go on then.
No, maybe not, because sometimes, being partly Welsh myself, I sometimes upset some of our Welsh listeners, don't I?
Occasionally, yes.
Particularly if I go and have a go about the Welsh language and why is it compulsory in schools in Wales.
You have been known to upset a few people with that, yes.
Yeah. You don't like it when I do that, do you?
I've given up caring now.
Have you really?
Yes. Yeah? You just say what you like.
Well, some of those lumps of lard start setting up websites and having a go at me. It's fine. You can do what the flipping heck you like. Because A, I don't watch, listen or read, so I don't really care. I really don't care.
Well, you can't watch at the moment anyway.
No, don't you start. What am I going to do for Emmerdale?
I'll tell you what, I'll watch it for you and I'll type up a brief summary of what's happened.
Actually, why don't you Skype when it's on and then Skype me and I can watch it on the laptop?
Oh, I can do that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, well, maybe, yeah, that's a good idea. Now, listen, I'm in desperate need of a beer. But okay, I'll try and wait till the end of the program. So, listen, if you go to our website, jameswellradio.co.uk, and if you haven't had a look on there, it's worth having a look because we've got all sorts of stuff on there, including some of the old TV shows. Some bits and pieces with me on television. I think there's a bit of me on Loose Women up there as well, isn't there? And various other things which may amuse.
Yes, there's lots of things on there. In fact, I've got some more to put up.
Yeah, good. Okay. And we can tell you in a few weeks' time, I'll be interviewing the legendary Wayne Hussey. Wayne Hussey is legendary for all kinds of things, but most of all because I had to throw him off my TV show one day many years ago. That must have been 20 years ago, mustn't it?
Yeah, for insulting all the Muslim viewers by throwing shoes at them.
Yeah, and so I couldn't have that. So I had to remove him from the studio. But Wayne has been around for quite some considerable time. Wayne Hussey, of course, his band, what is it called?
The Mission.
The Mission, yeah. And they've got a new album out, and we're going to play some of that in the not-too-distant future. Right, okay, so that's the website. Go and check that out. Listen to some of the other shows. Today's program brought to you by Ford. And so I've done a deal with Ford, and I want to tell you that I have, shall I do this a bit later? I've been driving and test driving the new Eco or Echo, whichever you prefer, Sport Titanium. And we've put some pictures up on the website. We tweeted out a few pictures of it. I've been driving it now for over a week. And I will give you my road test a little later in the program.
Okay.
Well, you're just jealous because I've been driving it and you weren't allowed to.
I'm quite happy with my car.
Yeah, but you'd love this car. This does it. Well, apparently on the statistics, apparently if I do extra urban, what the hell is extra urban?
Well, it's urban with a little bit on top.
I can get 60.1 miles to the gallon if I do extra urban.
Does the 0.1 really matter?
No, I don't know what it was. I think I've done about 400 miles for about 50 quid. That's what I worked it out at. I could be wrong, but that's not too bad. Quite a nice car. I'll tell you more about that a little later on anyway.
Okay.
So listen, the website, jameswellradio.co.uk, where you can also find the shop. And Christmas is coming. The geese are getting fat. Don't forget to put a penny in the old man's hat.
Okay.
That's the extent of my Christmas festivities as well.
Okay.
And before anybody asks, we're not doing a Christmas special this year either.
Oh, I wanted to play your Christmas song again.
Okay, well, we'll see what we can do.
Okay.
Can't promise.
Can you do a new one?
Yeah, if you write the words and get the music, I'll do it.
Is that a challenge?
Yeah, if you think you can do a Christmas song and get some music for it, I'll do it.
Because I've already done a Christmas song.
No, you haven't.
I did once.
Are you trying to... Oh, you're not trying to trick me into doing that, are you?
You just said you'd do
You
it.
flipping are. Well, you get it and I'll do it.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, the other thing I wanted to talk about was for my charity, the James Whale Fund for Kidney Cancer. We could put this out on the website as well. But during October, we try and raise money for the charity by having Britain's biggest curry party. And I make no apologies for the fact that it's a bit of a rip-off of Macmillan Nurses and their coffee mornings. So basically, I want you to go out and have a curry with your mates and get them to send us some money.
Or you can have your mates round and charge them for the curry you made.
Yeah, you can. But I'd rather go out.
Well, yeah, but you have to go out and you have to buy the curry anyway. So why didn't you put that money towards giving the person that made a curry?
That's a good idea. Was that your own idea?
No, I think you've mentioned that to me several times over.
Yeah, that was a very good idea. I didn't think it could possibly be your own idea. No, that's a good idea, and I think we should do that. So if you want to find out how to do it and help us, because at the James Whale Fund for Kidney Cancer, Britain's leading kidney cancer charity now, by the way, we do need some help. It's difficult to raise money. We do need some help. We have just embarked on a brand new doctor training scheme, training doctors how to recognize the symptoms of kidney cancer. So we do need to try and raise some money to keep this going. And if you can help, we'd be very grateful. And if you go to the jameswhalefund.org and get yourself a pack and organize a curry party, and you can do it anytime you want. It's not a particular day, anytime you want.
You don't have to do it in October either. Do it several times a year.
Yeah. If there's anything else you fancy doing, you could do that for us as well. Listen, I tell you what, I think I've rabbited on an enormous amount without saying anything, really.
Okay.
And there's so much to talk about. MPs photographing their willies and the fact we're now at war. There's so much to talk about, so little time. So I tell you what, I'm going to go and get myself a beer from the kitchen whilst you listen to Christina LaRock.
That I miss you, baby. There are times when I'm all alone, wondering whether you will wake up and turn this into a happy home. I can see no changes, baby, or am I just being blind? I want certain things in life, I don't want to be left behind. I feel that you love me, baby. Your heart is in the right place. I know that you've had it rough, babe. You're putting on a brave face. I don't want to win the sprint, babe. I want to win the long race. I can smell sweet success, but I want you to have a taste. As long as you love me, I will be your only. I promise that I'll always stay. Treat me as your lady, your one and only, baby. I love you every single day. Can I tell you one thing, baby? Play with fire and yes, get burned. And if I'm the fire, baby, just one touch and you return. We got something special, baby. Keep it strong and don't let go. Other girls will tempt you, baby. Know what's best and just say no. I feel that you love me, baby. Your heart is in the right place. I know that you've had it rough, babe. You're putting on a brave face. I don't want to win the sprint, babe. I want to win the long race. I can smell sweet success, but I want you to have a taste. As long as you love me, I will be your only. I promise that I'll always stay. Treat me as your lady, your one and only, baby. I love you every single day. As long as you love me, I will be your only. I promise that I'll always stay. Treat me as your lady, your one and only, baby. I love you every single day. As long as you love me, oh, baby, pretty baby. As long as you need me, as long as you love me, oh, baby, pretty baby. As long as you need me, tell me that I'm your lady. I feel that you love me, baby. Your heart is in the right place. I know that you've had it rough, babe. You're putting on a brave face. I don't want to win the sprint, babe. I want to win the long race. I can smell sweet success, but I want you to have a taste. As long as you love me, I will be your only. I promise that I'll always stay. Treat me as your lady, your one and only, baby. I love you every single day. As long as you love me, I will be your only. I promise that I'll always stay. Treat me as your lady, your one and only, baby. I love you every single day. I love you.
Christine LaRock and As Long As You Love Me. Now, listen, once again, if you would like to have your talent paraded in front of our millions of listeners and viewers, if you have a video, we can put it up and people will come and look at it. We're very reasonable. And it's a commercial operation. Listen, we make no bones about it. If you would like to be on, it's not as expensive as you think. Get in touch with Rob; he'll tell you more. And your talent could be there for all to see and hear. How do they get in touch with you, Rob?
They can email us at jameswellradio@gmail.com.
All right, let's get on with the war. You got a choice. Do you want to talk about the war, or do you want to talk about MPs getting their bits out?
I'm so tempted to find out about this MP that's got his bits out, but let's talk about the war first. I'm going to get out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I'll get it out. Well, if only we could get it out of the way, but I don't think that is going to be a possibility. Now, British tornadoes took off, of course, and they are now involved in the third Gulf War. Reading some of the headlines over the last few days, you'd think we were sending in waves and waves of bombers in this new offensive against these thugs that call themselves Islamic State, and they are, in my view, and the view I think of a lot of people, whether you are a Muslim or not, I think that these people are neither Muslim nor a state, and I don't know why we call them ISIS or Islamic State. Why don't we just call them, I don't know, bastards? That seems to me to be a good old Anglo-Saxon phrase for the sort of things that they're doing. But this war, of course, it's only 2 tornadoes. We don't have many planes. It's only 2, and they haven't done an enormous amount of fighting. Not that I think they should. The British Armed Forces are the most superb in the world, but we don't have an awful lot of them, and we don't have much in the way of monetary support either. Whether we should be sending our people out there or not, I don't know. I'm interested to see what you think. So we put it out on Facebook. Colin said, if you're on the wrong end of the ordnance, it'd make a huge difference. Well, yeah, there is some pretty amazing weaponry that these tornadoes. The tornado, of course, is 40 years old, but they are armed with some of the best new fighting weaponry that there is. Laura thinks it will make our government richer, and I think, Laura, you probably have a very good point, actually. There's nothing like a good war, according to some Americans, to boost the economy. Jeff Hobbs says arms companies are rubbing their hands with glee at the thought of how many more missiles they'll be able to sell. And Kerry Swan, hello, Kerry, she says it's a pointless exercise. Can't win a war from the clouds. They'll kill a few dozen again, whilst IS are recruiting round and round in circles for years to come, and the only thing Britain will gain from it is more terrorism. Saudi has at least 700 jets. Where are they and their so-called army? We're not even in Syria yet, and boots will need to be put on the ground soon. Ours, probably. No one has any confidence in their governments or armies, hence why we are involved. There is at least 15,000 IS fighters with no bases, so how anyone could think sending a few jets is going to help in any way is beyond me. We are flogging a dead horse. Oh, there we are. Saudi Arabia is actually involved, and Saudi jets are flying sorties at the moment. Dougie reckons, who's going to fund this one? Dougie, silly question. You and me. You and me, mate. And Phil Barron says it's not a war, but a conflict against a terrorist faction and a support role for the local armies. It's making a difference as the Kurds are starting to push them back now. So some of your thoughts, and hopefully it can be over before too long. Now, what was that?
Me turning the page, sorry.
Did you turn the page? You turned that page a bit lively, didn't you?
I'm eager.
You are. I heard a noise, and I think I've got a message. Do you know I lost my dart tag to cross the I don't know where it is, so I keep having to look for it. I think somebody's nicked it.
You're not on the tag, are you?
No, it's not. It's a tag to go over the crossing over the Thames when you drive on the M25.
Oh, the Dartford tag.
The Dartford crossing, yeah. I have a
you.
tag, so you just hold it up at the windscreen.
Yeah.
You go through without having to pay. You're paying one lump.
I thought you were in trouble again.
No. Let's not talk about that, please, for goodness sake. Right. Let's talk about the car. Ford's new EcoSport. Some people call it the EcoSport. I've been driving a rather flash blue one around for the last couple of weeks, and I have to say, it's what they call an SUV crossover.
Yeah.
Does that mean anything to you?
A bit like the Nissan Qashqai.
Yeah. But this is a pretty good car. I have to say, the Bluetooth system in the car is excellent, because some cars you get in and that has this one has hands-free built in, and usually you have to do this and that and get it. And I'm not very technical. It's just press a couple of buttons and your phone's linked into the system in the car. Very good. Very, very good.
I phoned you on it the other day. It was very clear.
Yeah. No, it's very nice. If I had to be picky, I don't like the wing mirrors. They're too far away from the side of the car, and they don't clear quickly enough. So in the morning, particularly if I'm doing the breakfast show, I get out early in the morning, and you've got sort of condensation on the wing mirrors. It doesn't clear for quite some time.
I'm not keen on the blue colour that they gave you, though.
I like it.
Why?
Because everybody can see it. And if you park it in a car park and sometimes forget where you park, nobody else has this colour.
It is a unique colour, I'll give it that.
Yeah. I'll tell you what the colour's called, shall I?
Go on, then.
It's called blue.
The interior's nice. I saw the interior. Yeah.
Well, cars look more and more like aeroplanes now, don't they? And it's laid out easily. It's a very comfortable driving position. The other thing I wasn't too keen on, the door handles, which are big and chunky, but very plasticky. Very plasticky. But other than that, if you want a car that is higher off the ground, this is the thing about these cars. You're in a higher position, so you get a better view. But it is the size of a smaller car. So you feel like you're driving a big four-wheel drive, but actually the car is the size of a small family car. And it has some pretty impressive figures, as I said before. Extra urban MPG 60.1, urban MPG 42.8, and maximum speed MPH 112. Not that I've obviously been able to do that.
No, 111, I think you said the other day, was about...
No, I didn't say that either. I did not say that either. Just stop that. But it's worth. Go to Ford's website and check it out. We've got pictures on ours too. I took it into the woods when I went to play bows and arrows the other weekend. You can fit longbows in the back.
So you've taken it off-road then?
Well, no, Ford might not be happy about that. But I did test it on forest tracks, yeah.
Okay, specially laid ones, of course, designed for cars. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, one last thing about the new EcoSport. Go to your Ford dealer, tell them you heard us talking about it, and we might get a discount on the next one.
Well, can I have that one when you finish with it and you get a new one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because soon it'll need cleaning.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah. But the most impressive thing about this whole car, right?
Mm-hmm.
The most impressive thing, don't worry about the power front and rear windows, the electrically operated door mirrors, the trip computer, the height lumbar adjustment on the driver's seat, always very good, the fabulous alarm, the keyless entry. You got a key fob, but you have to keep that in your pocket, and you just press a button to start it.
Nice.
And you don't put a key in anything, you just press a button. Sorry?
Has it got cameras?
This one hasn't got cameras, but you can get cameras. But it's got really nice LED signature lights that look like eyelashes round the front lights.
Like their new Mondeo?
Yeah, exactly. Looks very expensive.
Mm.
But the thing I like most of all, more than any of that, right, is the cooled glove box.
The cooled glove box?
The cooled glove box, which means that you can put your chocolate bars in there and it keeps them nice and cold.
I want one. How much?
I don't know. Well, this particular one, probably get it for 15,000 odd.
Wow.
I mean, I think the one I'm driving with all the bits and pieces probably 16,500. But, you know, there is always a deal to be done.
How many cans of Coke can you get in that glove box?
Well, I wouldn't get any in, but I suppose you could if you wanted to. But I'm impressed with it, I must admit. And we'll be testing on this program some more cars from Ford later on. But as I say, we've got some photographs up there of it as well. So go and have a look and pop into your Ford dealer and ask them when you can have a test drive of the new EcoSport. Which isn't in. It's brand new and it's not readily available at the moment. So you need to go and ask your dealer when they can find one for you to have a drive.
Why don't they go in and say, hi, can I test drive the new EcoSport Whale Edition?
Well, do you know, Mrs. W and I were talking about what we're going to do now with that little bit of extra room on your windscreen. Because, of course, as you know, you don't need to have a car tax disc anymore.
No.
No more at all.
Mine actually fell off by itself a few weeks ago. It must have known.
Yeah. Yes. And so I did ask, what are you going to do with them? And Darren Gibbons said he might put his on a 17-meter archery target. That's quite a good idea. Quite like the idea of that. I might just collect them. Somebody said today, why not turn them into little coasters or beer mats? You could laminate them, couldn't you? And then you can have them as beer mats.
I've got about 15 in my car.
Well, I've got a car that's nearly 20 years old, and I've got every single one of those tax discs in the car.
There we go. So that's a lot of friends coming round for drinks then.
Yeah, but John Doyle said, I paid for it, so it's staying. Nice one, John. And somebody else said, I'm going to put a picture of James Whale where the tax disc was. Well, that'll keep the burglars and the vandals away from your car.
Yep.
Yeah. But some people are getting upset about it. Val says there should be an e-petition. We want car discs, not this electronic stuff. I'm quite happy not to have it there and not to worry about it. You do have to pay it, by the way. And some people, some stupid people, who seem to think that they don't have to pay for it now because no one will know. They will, because everywhere you go, your car number is being looked at.
Usually on bridges.
Yeah, usually on bridges. So I'd be really, really careful. Lots of people with ideas as well. Glenn Arnold says a friend in Devon has been booked already by an overzealous SS officer. Sorry, I mean traffic warden, for having no tax disc, despite the fact that he has, in fact, taxed his vehicle. There'll be a lot of that. It'll be funny, won't it, when somebody tries to do you for it?
I'd go all the way to the courtroom with it and then get costs.
Well, I think it's a good idea. They should have done it years ago. What is the point? If you don't need to have this little bit of paper, think of all the trees we're going to save. Think of all the postage we're going to save. Think of and all that time people had to spend putting them into envelopes and sending them to you. I mean, it's going to be so much better.
What used to annoy
So
me
much better.
was the fact that you had to have proof of insurance and MOT to get a tax disc. Why?
Yeah.
If people are
I've no
wanting to
idea.
pay, then let them pay.
Yeah. I've no idea. Anyway, listen, just a reminder, don't forget, check out our website at jameswellradio.co.uk. And check out the shop in particular, where you can buy not only copies of my autobiography, but you can buy T-shirts, polo shirts, baseball caps, whale stuff. And Christmas is coming. Christmas is coming. And for those of you who fancy looking for other sorts of presents, well, you can, of course, go to our friends at Love Film. Did you want to tell people about Love Film, or do you want me to do all the work on the program?
I'll tell everybody about Love Film.
Go on, then.
Well, Love Film is one of these membership services where you can get all the films you like on your telly. Just download them and watch them. And if you go to our website and click on the link on the top right-hand corner, Love Film will give you 1 month free. And at the end of the month, you can choose to stay or leave. But you get the whole month free on us.
Yeah, so there we are. You can do that, and you can also join Audible, and you can get yourself a free audiobook. Doesn't have to be a copy of my book, which I spent about 4 days reading, but you could, if you would like, get one, but you can get loads of others, and you get that absolutely free. So just a couple of things worth checking out when you go to the website, jameswellradio.co.uk. Now, hi, welcome to the program. You're listening to James Wells Radio Show online on your favourite radio station. And we're here every week, of course. If you miss us at any other time, there are 50-odd hours of shows, and you can go and listen to all of them as long as you want.
Keep repeating them.
You can. You can, yeah. And we always like to hear from you. So if you want to get in touch, jameswell. I can never remember the address. Oh, hang on. Here we are. jameswellradio@gmail.com. Get in touch with us. Maybe you want to appear on the program. If you do, that's a good place to get in touch. Now, Mr. Brooks Newmark, who is a Conservative MP in Essex, a former minister for the big society, got caught photographing his Willie and sending the pictures to what he thought was a young lady, but turned out to be a journalist. And this is causing quite a lot of controversy. Poor old Brooks Newmark. Why people want to do things like this, I've no idea. I have never photographed any bit of my body. Have you?
I may have done the photocopier thing years ago.
What? Of your ass?
I think so. If I haven't, it's the sort of thing I'd do.
I do worry about you. Nigel Hinks, hello Nigel, says, talking about this story, he said, Mr. Newmark, he should have taken out a private member's bill. That was quite funny. Graham White says, anybody in the public eye is an idiot for sending personal or explicit material to anyone, stranger or not. I am with you, Graham. I think it shows lack of judgment, and I think that's what he's most guilty of. I feel a bit sorry for him because he has been made a bit of a fool. But some people are actually saying, well, should journalists be doing this? They're going on a bit of a fishing trip to see if there's anybody doing anything they shouldn't be. And then, if you'll excuse the double entendre, they're then exposing them as if they hadn't exposed themselves. And is that fair? I suppose in a way it is, isn't it? Really. I mean, if you are in the public eye, if you are a member of the government or an elected representative, then we need to know that you have pretty good judgment, don't we?
So he's a bit of a knob then.
Yeah, you might say that. I couldn't possibly comment. So what's the most embarrassing thing that you've sent on social media?
I do it all the time.
What?
Well, whatever I send is embarrassing.
Yeah, this is. I just got a good message here. It says, "Hello, James. My name is Sharon. Honest, and I'd like to see a sexy picture of you. Please send it to me, and I promise I won't tell anyone. Definitely not the Mirror. Oh, and I'm honestly a sexy lady and not a journalist or anything like that. Please, James, please."
Are you going to?
Yeah, I have. I've just taken a picture of my big toe.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Andy says, I've got a gin-infused video of me dancing in a lime green mankini, but unlike Brooks Newmark, I would never share it on social media, unless, of course, it was for charity. It's amazing what people will do for charity, isn't it?
Charity's a nice girl's name.
Yeah. So is Fanny.
How is your Auntie Fanny?
Very good. How's yours?
I haven't got one.
Oh, that's a shame. So anyway, I think really, if it's sad, some people are lonely and they get they get sort of drawn into the online world, don't they? There'll be people who probably listen to this program over and over again and never go out of the house.
Hiding behind a little keyboard.
Yeah. It's no way to live. You need to get out. You can take us with you. Take the program with you and go out. Go and test drive the new EcoSport by Ford.
That's true.
Yeah, and have some fun. But I do feel sorry for the guy. But listen, it doesn't take a huge intelligence to realise that if somebody online starts saying, "Oh, I'm going to send you photographs of me if you send me photographs of you," no, don't do it.
Or do it, but don't do it in your own account. Set up another account.
Don't start. That's naughty. Oh, by the way, talking about naughty things, I want to start a campaign here and now to have a go at companies, quite often banks, who, excuse me, to advertise, ring you at home and you pick up the phone 6 o'clock at night or something. You pick the phone up and it's a recorded message. I've had enough of that.
I had one of them today.
Did you? I get one nearly every day, and they usually phone at about 6:30. And phone goes, you pick it up and says, have you claimed on your so-and-so, so-and-so? If not, you really should. And I think, why don't you go and off?
Have you made a claim on your PPI?
No, I can't be asked.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
And?
I was a few £1,000s better off, yes.
Oh, right. I don't think I've paid PPI. That's the thing. In fact, I'm pretty sure I haven't.
Well, that's the point. I didn't think I had, and I had, and that's why I got the money back.
Oh, well, maybe I should check it out. Yeah, you can tell me afterwards how you did it.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I think, have we nearly finished today or not? What are we doing?
We got the dentists.
Oh, yeah, I hate the dentist, don't you?
I like my dentist.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's a woman, is it, I suppose?
As it happens, it was, but the one before that wasn't, and I still liked him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have only in my entire life of dentistry had one woman dentist, and yeah, she was quite good. I quite like that. I did look forward to going to the dentist, but I don't go very often.
You're go when you need to type person.
I go when I get a twinge. I keep my teeth nice. I brush them. They're not quite as white as Simon Cowell, but then I don't actually think many people have teeth as white as Simon Cowell.
Well, they sort of glare, don't they?
Yeah, but the whole point of this story is, of course, that more and more of our children are getting tooth decay. I thought tooth decay was a thing of the past, it has to be said, but apparently it's not. And that's because people eat too much rubbish food, like you, and drink too many rubbish drinks, again, like you.
There's nothing wrong with my teeth.
Yeah, you haven't got any, so how can there be anything wrong with them?
Well, that might be true, but they still look okay.
No, I don't know, money. You talk like that, and if you haven't got any teeth, don't you? But I did actually ask the question on Facebook this week, how easy is it to get a national health dentist? I can't get one. I haven't got one. You know, last time I went to the dentist, it cost me something like £600-700.
What?
Well, I had to have some root canal and various stuff done, which I needed to get done, but it's expensive.
Don't you have a plan?
No, I don't go very often. No, I don't have a plan.
Oh.
That would entail having to go every 6 months. I don't want to go every 6 months.
Oh, well, that's why you're paying so much then.
You know, but that's the first time I've had to pay anything in about 10 years.
Oh, that's all right then.
So it worked out better, didn't it?
About the same.
In fact, when I went to the dentist back in my 20s, which is about 10 years ago, obviously, they said I had impacted wisdom teeth and I had to have them out. And they hadn't given me any pain. They didn't hurt. Occasionally you could feel them moving around a bit, and a bit like teething, I suppose. So I said, no, I don't think I'll bother with that, because it sounds pretty horrific having them out. And he was all for doing it. Oh, no, I'll just put my knee on your chest and yank them out. You'll be fine. I said, no, thank you very much indeed. And I've still got them. I haven't had them done yet. I mean, actually, I shouldn't recommend that, because sometimes you might have something seriously wrong and you need to get them looked at. But me, I'm one of those, I'll just bear the pain, thank you.
I had my wisdom teeth out about 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah?
They just put a screwdriver in, twist it, crack it, and pull it out. 2 minutes. 2 minutes tops, no pain.
No?
And it was free.
Why no pain?
Because they jab you with all that cocaine and stuff.
All right. I don't want that either. So I'm quite happy when I get a bit of toothache. I'll go and let the dentist do whatever they do. But I keep my teeth clean. I don't eat huge amounts of sugar, and if I did eat anything like that, then I go and brush my teeth afterwards. And so I don't see the point of going to get a checkup every 6 months.
The hygienist, that's the one that hurts.
Well, that's what your electric toothbrush is for, and your dental floss.
Yeah.
You know, for goodness sake, come on. So how easy is it to get a national health dentist? You've obviously got one.
But I go private.
What?
I go private.
You go private?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I go private, yeah. I would get on the National Health if I could find one that would put me on their books. But I've been to all the local dentists where I live over the years, and they're not taking anybody on. You can go on a waiting list.
They usually start National Health, and then they say to you, once you're there for a few months, they then say, we're now going private, so would you like to sign? That's what happened to me.
Well, lots of people here. Julie Saunders says, how easy is it to get a GP appointment? Well, actually, I don't have much trouble with that. The GP I find okay, but she says, about the same in my experience, not easy at all. Rachel Ashley says, clearly it depends where you live. I have no problem. Kerry says, there are a few round here. They tut at you. That tut at you? Why would they tut at you? Joyce says, come to Scotland. Why did I do that accent? Anyway, sorry. You may have heard of the place in, what, Scotland? Yeah, I have. It's where we care for each other and you are not judged by your pay packet. My dentist is lovely and very good too. And Joyce sends me a couple of kisses. Oh, that's nice, Joyce. Thank you very much. Nice to have you back in the union, although I don't really think there was much chance you were going to go. Has anything happened to Alex Salmond? Has anybody asked him to pay for all the nonsense yet or not?
Oh, I don't know. Is he causing trouble still?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, it's just the whole thing of winding everybody up about being, an independent nation. It's now got a few of them really hot under the collar, and it's going to take a while to settle them down, isn't it?
I heard he was complaining about all the voters have been misled into voting no. Or was that?
Well, I certainly hadn't heard that, and I'm sure that's not the case. I hadn't heard that. You made that up, didn't you?
I might have made that up, actually.
Yeah, well, don't say things like that. That's really silly. Consider yourself under a written warning.
Written warning?
Yeah, a written warning.
We've moved from the verbal. We're going to written.
I can't be bothered to write it, but it's a written warning. Tina says, it's much easier than before, and I have called 3 local dentists in my area, and all 3 have spaces. And costs have simplified too, with 3 tiers. You still need to pay for the private treatments as before. Where do you live, Tina? If you're near me, I can come and register, or if not, I'll go up to Joyce and get a dentist in Scotland. Pauline, there's all girls as well who talking about the dentist. Quite interesting. All guys talking about the war and the MP, and now all girls talking about the dentist. Carol says, very easy for me. I've never had a problem. Pauline says, yes, there's nothing free in life. Someone somewhere down the line is paying for it. That's a good point. Victoria says, I live in Devon. I moved from Wales. I can't get into a dentist here, so I go all the way to Wales to see my dentist. Yeah. Martin says, NHS dentists better off doing DIY dentistry. Don't try that. Carrie says, not one in our town, James, and we have 5 surgeries. And my old friend Stuart St. Paul, the film producer, hello, Stu, he'd be a good guest. We should get Stuart St. Paul on. He said, it's still cheaper to fly to India than pay National Health. A great treatment, just had implants, which I would have had to pay for anyway, but less than 1/10 of the price. Same parts, so go figure. Stuart St. Paul. God, I haven't spoken to Stuart for ages. We'll get him on. He made a film with Status Quo recently.
Bella Quo.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, he made that. He directed that movie. So good to have you listening, Stu. And everybody else. I think that's almost time for us to go, isn't it?
It is. Can I just quickly just play this?
5, 4, get ready.
Now!
I have encountered a rebel cell.
What happened down there?
He did. The Force is strong with Ezra.
Sounds like someone I used to know.
All troopers, focus your fire on the Jedi.
Star Wars Rebels premieres this fall on Disney XD.
So there we go. This Friday it is, 6 p.m. Disney XD, doing my bit for Star Wars as I'm a Jedi. Star Wars Rebels, the new series. Get watching.
I was going to just ignore that,
Yeah, well, I knew you were, so I put it in my notes. I have to say it because, otherwise I get into trouble.
Can I tell you that today, although it could be any day you're listening, depending on when you're listening, is International Black Dog Day.
Explain.
Black dogs are usually, if the dog's black, it usually gets overlooked at the rescue centre. So they're having an international day for black dogs for people to think more kindly of dogs who are black.
I've got a solution.
Yeah, paint them white. No, don't do
No. One idea, I suppose, is to, when the families come into the dog centres, is to show them all the black dogs first, and then wait for the families to say, well, have you got anything else? Then show them the other dogs.
I don't think that'll work. But anyway, let's love not only black dogs, but all dogs. Let's love everybody.
Yeah, all dogs deserve a good home, no matter what the colour is.
Let's go out and make the world a nicer place. And in doing that, why don't you go and test drive the new Ford EcoSport? You know you want to.
Get a black one.
See you next time. And don't forget, listen, guys, check out the website, jameswhaleradio.co.uk. And if you want to get in touch with us, we'd love to hear from you. jameswhaleradio@gmail.com. And the same address if you have a talent and you would like to perform it on the programme. Now, roll the titles, Robbo, and let's get to the pub.
James Well, the voice of reason on the James Well Radio Show.
You're listening to the James Well Radio Show. For more information, visit www.jameswellradio.co.uk. Why not check us out on facebook.com/JamesWellRadioShow or follow James on Twitter @the James Whale. James Whale, the voice of reason.